lesson, that is lesson 2. The name of the lesson is Components of Food. So there are some main points I have given here. We will discuss point by points. First we will see the number 1 point, that is nutrition and nutrients. What is nutrition and nutrients? The process by nutrients means the process by which living things obtain and use food is called nutrients. That means nutrients are mostly those foods which help us to get energy and which help us in our body building, which help us to protect from different kinds of diseases. Now we know that after creations, human beings have to survive on this earth. To survive on this earth, they need to undergo certain life activities or to perform certain life activities. To perform certain life activities, we need energy, as well as we need to have a strong physics, and also we need to protect ourselves from different kinds of diseases. So in order to have a strong physics and to protect from different kinds of diseases and to get more and more energy to perform certain activities, we need a proper balanced food. That food, what we take to get these 3 types of form, is called nutrients. In the modern science, we know that it is called 4H. That means health. If you have a good health, you will have a good heart, and if you have a good heart, you will have a good head. So if you have a good head, you will have a good hand. That means hand will perform all those things. If you have a good heart, the things which is present inside your head, that is brain and all, it will function very nicely, and it will have the hand to perform different activities. So in this case also we need a good nutrients food. We get 5 nutrients in our life. They are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, roughage also one we have included there. Then we have minerals also. First we will see the first type of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the main source of energy. We get carbohydrates from rice, wheat, maize, potato, banana, legumes, breads, pasta are a source of carbohydrates. But in our village life, in our northern India, like everybody, we mostly get these carbohydrates from rice, what we eat, the dal, what we eat, then wheat, maize, potatoes, which is common with us, bananas, and some of the foods are not present here. Legumes, of course, everybody consumes. After eating all carbohydrates, it takes a chemical process, that is inside our body. Then this carbohydrate excess will be expelled out, and some amount which is required by our body will be stored in the body, and it will be gone through bile to our bloods, and hemoglobins will again take to different parts of our body. Now carbohydrates are also again classified into subclasses, that is sugar, starch and fibers. Sugar, we know, is a simple carbohydrates, and it is present in fruits. Table sugar, milk contain sugars. Now starch, plain store food that they make there as starch. Starch are complex carbohydrates. It is digested slowly and therefore release energy for a long period of time. Starch. The remaining portion of the rice after eating, the remaining portion if you soak in the water and if you put whole night and in the morning if you eat, that gives a huge amount of energy. In the olden days people used to eat so that they can work whole day in the field. Now fibers. Fibers is a roughage. Fibers are contained in like mangoes. When you squeeze the mango, you will find like here, so many hairs in the seed also. These are all fibers. It is a cellulose. It is insoluble in cellulose. Watermelon also if you eat, and of course pineapple also, there are called a raw fish. It helps in our digestive systems. If you eat less amount of raw fish, you will have a constipation. That means you will have a problem in excretion, in passing latrines and all. But this raw fish, what will do? It will push out the undigested food also. It will mix up in the body along with the hydrochloric acids and other enzymes present there. Then it will release out from your body. We need carbohydrates. If we lack any one of the 5 nutrients, we will suffer from 1 or 2 or different types of diseases. And we cannot be healthy if we lack these 5 nutrients. Now, let's go to the second number of nutrients out of 5. That is the fats. Fats is also very much important to give us energy, as well as it acts as a lubricant in our body. We get fats from milk, ghee, cream, cheese, butter, eggs, meat, etc. We see that fats gives us more than twice as much energy per gram as carbohydrates. That means fat gives us more energy than carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates and fats, there are some differences also there, but they give us energy, but they give in different ways. Now, carbohydrates do not last for long, but fats can be last for long. And next is that if you have eaten a good amount of fats, and if you do not do exercise, then you will suffer from obesity. That means your body will become more and more fat. That means why we become fat if we eat more and more fats and carbohydrates. That means the extra amount that is stored in our body apart from doing any exercise, then what happens? It will remain in our body. Then what will happen? It will lead us to be obesity. That means it will lead you to become more and more fats. After consuming carbohydrates and fats, you need to do a proper exercise. Next comes the proteins. Out of 5, the number 3 is proteins. Proteins are bodybuilding. Proteins are these, and energy giving foods are carbohydrates and fats. Now, bodybuilding foods is we get from proteins. Now, proteins are bodybuilding foods. They are a part of tissues and muscle. When our tissues and muscles will be increased, automatically your body height also will be increased, as well as your strength. Then the size, the dimension of your body also will be increased. On the contrary, it also helps in the repairing of our cells, dead cells. Suppose when we cut our hand, if we do not put any lotions or ointments or any medicines, after some time what happens? It dries up. The blood circulated here dries up. Then what happens? After some time when you rub with the cloth, you can find your original skins. That means from there also we know that skins repair the dead cells. And one type of dead cells is the foods. When you have a sore, then from the sore white foods comes out. That is also a dead cells. So if you press hardly, it will destruct the cells again. More fees will. There is a chance that more fees will come out. This fees is also one example of dead cells. So the sore never remains for a long period. It is not a chronic diseases. It is acute diseases. So after 2 or 3 days, or it may suffer from maximum of about 10-15 days. Then after that, what happened? You became all right. If you do not treat also, this is an example that cells repair. Now, hemoglobins, which is very important part in our blood cells, is also a protein. So to increase our hemoglobin level, we human beings need more than 15 hemoglobin, cc hemoglobins, according to our weight of 55 or 60 or 35. If the weight is less than 55, then there may be of 12. So we need to eat protein rich foods to increase the hemoglobin levels, because it carries oxygen and carbon dioxide through the body. If you do not eat all those things, then what will happen? If the oxygen do not supply properly, then you will be suffocated and you will die. So proteins is very important. So the food from where we get proteins are legumes, milk products, eggs, meats, and so on, etc. Then next comes the protective food. These protective foods we get from vitamins. So from where we get vitamins? The food source from where, the nutrients from where we get vitamins. We get vitamins from some of the foods like vitamin C and vitamin B. We get from fruits, vegetables, milk, egg, cheese, that means from plants and animals, and also from the animals' dairy products. That is the derivatives of animals' source. So vitamins do not give us energy and do not help in the body building. They are essential for proper functioning and protective of the body. Proper functioning and protective of the body. If you do not protect your body from different kinds of diseases, then you will become weak. Then your organs or your minds or your body, what we call muscles, cells, will not function properly. So there is an interrelation between the protections and the functions. So we need good protections as well as to function. So that is why we need vitamins, protective food. If it is not protective, then we cannot function. Next we will go to the minerals again. Minerals are needed in small quantities for proper growth and functioning of the body. Minerals is also required because in the bone marrow and inside the cells also, in the nucleus of the cells also, we need minerals. If minerals are properly not supplied, they will be dried up and then it will lack the nutrients required for the strengthening of the bone marrows, then the strength of the structure of the bones, as well as the joints, etc. As well as our cells also. So we need minerals. From where we get minerals? Proper, if you have good minerals, if your bone marrows are being properly nourished, and if you give proper nutrients to it, it will grow in size, it will grow in length, then you will grow, and it will be again swells up, expand, then you will have a good dimension of your body. So from where we get all those things? We get minerals from iron, calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, fluorine, and iodines. Iodines are some kinds of minerals. Now ions, it is necessary for the formation of hemoglobins. Hemoglobins, you know, it is a carrier, it is a blood cells, it carries oxygen and carbon dioxide, all parts of our body. So iron is necessary the formation of hemoglobins. Calcium and phosphorus, then you need to build the bones and teeth. Calcium is important for our teeth. If you lack calcium, your teeth cannot be functions very nicely. The strength of your teeth joints will be weak and you cannot chew or bite hard things, and there is a chance of cracks and falling down of your teeth. Then we need phosphorus also. Phosphorus, what it does? It strengthens the covering of your bones. Now we have sodium, potassium. They need to keep the cell healthy for the nerve to function. If your cell is not healthy, then cells combine to form a tissues. Tissues with the same functions gives us the nerve and organs. Nerves is also an organs. If you do not have a proper minerals, your nerves will not function. Iodine, it is necessary for thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is present near here, just behind the side of the glottis. So you need, so this thyroid, what happens, it secretes some hormones which helps is your growth. So you have to nourish it with the proper nutrients so that you will have a good growth hormones to grow. Next is the raw phase. Raw phase is called a fiber. As I have said earlier, it is an insoluble material. It is present in watermelons, pineapples, mangoes. Those foods which contain some amount of water in it, when you chew, when you tear, when you squeeze, if amount of water comes out, and that water is suitable for our digestions, which we can, it is edible liquids, then it is a raw phase. Next is the water. Water is essential components in our body. It makes 70% of our bodies contains water and 30% are other nutrients. So what we need to do? We need lots of waters. Many substances dissolved therefore helps absorb nutrients in the. When you take the food, it is called ingestions. To digest, to assimilate in your body, what you need? You need to drink water. This water will take you down the food to your digestive systems. Then what? Water is the main part of blood and helps to transport something. Water is also very important in our blood, like WBC, RBC, because water is divided, blood is divided into two parts. One is plasma and one is serum. So in the serum parts, you need water. Excess certain amount of water. If you do not give certain amount of water, there will be weakness in the serum. But you will not die, because plasma is there. Instead of before repairing of the this serum part, plasma will help you to function. So we need in an excess amount of water, because when it is a summer seasons, humidity also very high, and when you have a hard exercise, what will happen? Excess amount of water will be expelled out in the form of sweat. If the external environment is also very dry, what will happen? Your body, because it will expel out through osmotic regulations or in the form of osmosis from higher concentration to lower concentration, because external environment, less humidity, that means it is dry, then the water present in your body will automatically flow out. Then your body will be dried up, or you may be very tired, so you need to drink lots of water to give the proper required amount of water by your body. In the summer season, not so much, but if you do exercise and if it is very hot in the room temperature, then what will happen? Excess amount of sweat will flow out from higher concentration to lower concentration. Then your body may become very weak, or you may become very dumb. So you need to drink lots of water. And water helps in the excretions of your urine also, and the excretions of your stool also. It helps digestion. It helps to pass out the urine and leptin very nicely, because it again builds up your kidney also. In the kidney there is a filtered portion which we call the nephron. Nephron contains nearly about 10 millions of nerves. And if you do not drink a good amount of water, what will happen? The nephrons require certain amount of water. It will suck the water portions from your blood. Then in that case, you may be dehydrated also. Then it will flow away through your urine, and we can sometimes see that our urines are yellow in color. This is not because of the jaundice, because our body requires, our nephrons require certain amount of water. When it doesn't get, it sucks the water from your blood. Now next we will go to the balanced diet. Now apart from carbohydrate, the carbohydrate source of foods, if we do not get, for example, the fats required food if we do not get, proteins required food we do not get, or if we get also, it is says that the balanced diet is one that provides all the nutrients in the amount required by the body to be healthy, and it contains in the milk. The researchers or scientists say that it contains in the milk. Okay, milk groups, this includes milk, dairy milks like butter, it contains in the milk group. So this milk is again divided into milk group. So let's see the milk group. Milk groups is divided into dairy products, milk, and the derivatives of the milk, that is the dairy products like butter, buttermilk, cheese, and curd. It also contains a balanced diet food. Now protein groups, These include eggs, meats from chicken, fish or lambs and so on. Beans, peas, almonds, groundnuts, soya, tofu and etc. They contain a rich amount of protein, so they are called protein groups. Fruits or vegetables groups, we all know the vegetables like cauliflowers, apples, carrots, cucumber, banana, guava and all those things, mango, melon, they fall in the category of fruits or vegetable groups of the balanced diet. Then grain groups. These grain groups are like rice, wheat, other cereals or millets. They are fall into the grain groups. Why it is called a balanced diet? You cannot eat unnecessarily some of the grains, some of the vegetables, some of the fruits, some of the what we call milk products, but it doesn't give you that kind of balanced diet. Certain amount of food gives you the balanced diet. You have to. That is why in this book it is being separated from the useless food. You can take it, but it will give you little amount of what you call is carbohydrates. Energy in the form of carbohydrates, but not in the form of fats, proteins or other things. If you eat some kinds of fish which is less of proteins and other, then some kinds of meat or eggs and other, it will give you the fats, but some of them are useless. So here it is selectively taken out, which is called a balanced diet. Deficiency of nutrients. Deficiency of nutrients. What will happen if you do not have any one of these what we call nutrients like carbohydrate, fats? If you do not eat carbohydrates, what will happen to your body? If you lack carbohydrates, one of the nutrients, what will happen to you? Say, let's see first, if you lack carbohydrates, what will happen to you? Improper nutrients, which is caused by the unbalanced diet, is called malnutrition. Improper nutrition. A shortage of nutrients in the diet makes the body unhealthy and prone to diseases. Diseases caused by the lack of some nutrients in food is known as deficiency disease. Now your body needs a certain gram of food, high carbohydrates, then to get a proper calorie of energy required by your body. So if you do not get that proper amount means the proper gram of food. That's why carbohydrates 200 grams, protein you need 300 grams, then say proteins, then fats you need 220 grams or whatever. Which total coverage of these 5 nutrients is called balanced diet. But if you do not get, say, the required amount of carbohydrate by your body is 200 grams and you get only 50 grams, then you are having improper imbalanced diet. That means you are having a malnutrition. That means you lack food, or because of the scarcity of the food you do not get the food. This is called malnutrition. If you do not take proper amount of food. So if you do not take proper amount of food, that is the balanced diet. Apart our body by our size, by our weight, say carbohydrate plus fats plus by this the combination of 5 nutrients, say it weighs about 500 grams. And if you are getting only 10 grams or 20 grams, then automatically you are in a malnutrition. That means you are not having a balanced diet. You are in the imbalanced diet. So your protection will not be good because you do not have that. Then you will not have a bodybuilding. Then you will not have energy. Then you will become weak. You are not healthy. That means your body also is not in a protective mood. Then if it is not protected properly, then your function also weak. That means what? Protective food, vitamins is also less. That means it is very prone to diseases. Let's see deficiency of carbohydrates. If we do not eat a low amount of carbohydrates, that means we do not have enough energy. That means we are suffering from, we will feel what? Tired, weak, confused and hungry. If you do not have a proper food, you will always be sleepy also because you are very weak. Your brain also will not function because your automatic hormones is also not functioning, because you are gloomy and sleepy, dull. So automatic hormones only functions when we are happy and active. So obviously if you are hungry, you will be confused. Then protein deficiency. If you have a deficiency of proteins, what will happen? It leads to proteins, it leads to kwashiorkor and marasmus. Kwashiorkor is a kind of disease which has the deformities in the limbs. That means you will have a thin limbs, there will be no proper size of the limbs, then it will be very pale and dry skins. And you will have a reddish hair also, your hair will be very reddish, that sticks out and do not gain weight or growth. You will not have a weight, you will not have a growth. If you do not have a weight and growth, it is obvious that you are very weak, thin. Your muscles also will be very small. So this is kwashiorkor. It is because of protein deficiency. Next is marasmus. So what is marasmus is, it is a kind of diseases which appears to be very thin, with their bones prominently visible. Bones are visible very thin. Your ribs also, it will come up. You can see your hands, then your knees, then this one a finger also will be very thin. You can see only the bones. It seems that there is no muscles. And they have dry, loose skin because of the loss of fats, muscles under the skin. They are weak, they do not gain. Almost same with the kwashiorkors. This is because of the protein deficiency. Now, if we have deficiency of vitamins and minerals, what will happen to us? Now, vitamins and minerals, if we lack, what will happen? If we lack protein, if we lack this one and this one, it doesn't matter much to our body, but there is a relation. If you lack this one and this one, then obviously there will be a problem in our protectives. So what will happen if there is a protective? This is very dangerous stage. That means if we lack vitamins and minerals. Let's see. And in a reverse also, vitamins and minerals accompany the proteins foods and the fats and carbohydrates to give our proper healthy bodies. So first we see vitamin A. Where we find this vitamin A? We find vitamin A in the liver, fish oil, egg, yolk, dairy, and some of the vegetables, papaya and all those things which is in your book list. You can see all those things, which is there is a table given in your book. From there you can see. If we lack vitamin A, I will not go to the sources and functions. If we lack, what will happen? What will be the deficiency? The deficiency will be night blindness, not being able to see a dim light. Now if you have a B complex, that is B complex is again divided into B1, B2, B3, B12. If you lack B1, then you will have a very, that means affecting your nerves and heart, because nerve and heart there is a connection, because blood circulates through the nerve from the heart. Blood goes out from the heart. Again, impure bloods go to your heart. Again, the pure bloods again go to different parts of the blood. So there is a connections. So there will be a problems. Now B2, if you don't have if you lack B2, what will happen? Skin inflammation, cracking, vision problems. Skin inflammation. Your skin will be swells or inflammation will be there. There will be a cracks. There will be the yellow, pale colors will appear. Then there will be patches on your skin, and there will be cracks also. And skin vision problem also. It has a resemblance with the calcium. B3, Kalagera, causing skin rash, diarrhea and all. If you lack B12, you will suffer from anemia, which is very common in our society also now in the moderns. During corona time also anemia is very common. In the rainy season mostly it is very common. Then vitamin C. If you lack vitamin C, you will suffer from scarbe, causing skin scarbe. Scarbe mostly suffers in your mouth. Teeth. It is a problem of teeth. It causes bleedings of gums. Your gums there from there when you brush or when you eat. And if you brush with your fingers or a cloth to test scurvy, first what you need to do is that you can brush with the finger or with the cloth. If you brush, blood will flow out slowly. Then swelling of the joints will be swelled up. Then if you lack vitamin D, rickets of children, that means your bones will be soft and bent. And when you run also there is a chance that you may fall down and break. And asthenosia in adult. It also has a relations with the fats. If you lack fats, when after doing exercise or you are running or you are in athletics, what will happen? When you function, the energy will be used. Then there will be a reduce in the energies, and what will happen? Your bone will turn into lactic acid and it may be broken. So there is a resemblance with the vitamin D. Vitamin E, skin disorder and heart diseases. So vitamin K, bleeding, weak bones. Now minerals, let's see the minerals also. First one is about the vitamin, let's see the minerals. If you lack calcium, you will have a weak bones, weak teeth, just I have said before. Then if you have a iron, then you will suffer from anemia, weakness, weak nails. If you lack phosphorus, you will have a weak bone, weak teeth. If you lack sodium, you will have a headache, fatigue and weak muscles. Again, if you lack potassium, you will have a muscle weakness. And if you lack iodine minerals, then you will suffer from goitry. Goitry means here causing swelling in the neck. Your neck will swell up. That means your glottis also will be swelled up. Next is the fluorine. If you lack fluorine minerals, then what will happen? Decay of teeth and weak bones. So teeth has to be very strong. Everybody want to have a strong teeth. If you do not have a strong teeth, you will not have a happy life, because you cannot eat whatever you want. If you cannot eat whatever you want, if you cannot buy the meat, if you cannot buy the chicken, or if you cannot buy the fish, then the roughage like fruits and all, chew and eat, how you will get the energy. So teeth is also very important. We should take care of our teeth. Now taking all these into considerations and looking down all those things, the government is also behind this. The government is also trying not to lose any opportunity to take the advantage of the nutrition and the nutrients. So what they have done is that looking all those things in the remote areas, after the survey it is found that most of the students, they lack balanced diet, they are malnutrition because of the poverty, and they cannot have a good memory, they cannot have a good physics, good strength, and they cannot go to the school properly, and some of them even leave out the education in search of foods for their family. So government has adopted a new policy that is called midday meal schemes in 1925. A midday meal program was started in the Madras Municipal Corporations for disadvantaged students. Under this scheme, what the government is trying to do is that all the students from class 1 to 5 were given free lunch and school. The midday meal school now covers all part of the India. It is one of the world's largest school feeding programs. Looking at the advantage of the program and initiatives of this program taken by the Madras Municipal Corporations, other states also admire at the works and the progress of this program. So the other states also wanted to adopt it. Taking into consideration, the government of India wanted the program to be implemented in all the states under one umbrella, that is the central government. And they have created a new department called Rashtriya Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. So under Rashtriya Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, they have again divided into, they have given the power initiatives to the state stakeholder as Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. In the meantime, the program of the main theme of the program is of the midday meal scheme is not to give proper nutrition to the body, to the children of this country, but also to increase the number of students coming to school by increasing the proper nutrition available to the students, so that they will not drop out the schools in the attractions of these midday meal programs. They will not go for searching of the food to the jungles and all to the streets, and they can get the proper food 3 times or 2 times a day in the schools. So everybody, I want to conclude here the lesson 2, the remaining ideas of it. You can see the books properly. Along with this, I need to bed. Goodbye.
Stay home, stay safe.
Do it for self.
Do it for your family. Do it for India.
Let's break the chain of COVID-19.
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद। हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद।
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद।